want to speak with you about interconnectedness and the Schumann resonance and how they relate. So many people don't understand what the Schumann resonance is and if it is even something to bear into consideration. So, when you see a chart like this one, then what the chart is telling you is actually the resulting combination of all of the frequencies of all sentient beings on Earth, all the planets, everything that's happening on this beautiful mothership, our Mother Earth. So the combination of all of the frequencies, including the solar flares, the phase of the moon, which are very, very influential, and the feelings and emotions and the things happening, the wars, the peace, the everything on earth creates a vibrational frequency, which is then measured through this machine, which is a little bit like a truth machine, whereby it reads the frequency of this vibrational continuum, which has been named the Schumann resonance because Mr. Schumann was the one that discovered how to measure this vibrational frequency. So when you see charts like this one that I just showed you with so much white in there, is when we have big blasts of powerful energetics going on. Normally, like solar flares, when the equinox happened, when the solstice happened, when the eclipse happened, when these big events happen, normally we see these type of white flares, but they may happen also at any other time where there's a lot of things going on Earth, and the sum of it all, of all the emotions and all the frequencies of all the beings and all of the system that is Mother Earth adds up to show us these vibrational differences. When you see in the chart the green, then that means it's more of a normal, ongoing, energetic, and the reds are quite interesting distortions in the field. And the reason why this is important is more like when you look at the temperature of the day. You already know that it's kind of cold or a little bit warm. You may not know exactly how cold or warm it is, so you'd like to look at the weather forecast, or if you have at home a thermometer to measure the temperature. But you kind of know that it's either warm or cold. It's not absolute new information. The Schumann resonance serves in the same way. I really enjoy checking the graph when I know that I have not been able to sleep well, or that my clients are telling me that they're struggling with whatever is going on in their lives, or they too haven't been able to sleep well and they've been feeling down or exhausted or the need to eat more or sleep more, or they feel that difference in the energies. And I'm like, yes, the Schumann resonance is measuring and picking up the fact that the whole of the earth is really going from a real through a really wacky moment. And so that's what is important about the Schumann resonance, for you to understand what it reflects, and that it is not a thing that happens, but rather the measurement of what is happening. And it's a very different concept. And why it goes hand in hand with the concept of interconnectedness is because it is exactly the sum of all things happening on Earth. We are all interconnected. The moon and its moon cycles have powerful impact in the waters of Earth. And Earth is 70% water, our planet, our beautiful blue planet, as is our body. Our bodies are between 70 and 80% water, depending upon what part of the body we're looking at. For example, the pineal gland and the amygdala are almost 80% water, and other parts of our bodies may have 70% water, overall about 75%. So when the moon is moving through one phase to the other, when there's a full moon or a new moon, and it is very evident the gravitational pull in the waters of the earth, we too, we feel it in our bodies, just like the earth feels it in its body. And so we are influenced by what's happening with the cycles of the moon. We are influenced by what's happening with the sun, and the sun actually with its light, which gives us life, is very influential in our own chemistry. And you know this from science that without sun, we can't produce certain vitamins in our body. But additionally, when the sun is going through these storms, as we're being shown by the astronomers, that there are these powerful solar flares, more powerful than in many thousands of years, of course, our bodies feel it because we are very near the sun as our star, and we feel in a chemical way in our bodies how that is affecting us. And beyond that, we also feel it in an energetic way because the sun is bringing us codes that influence not only our cells, our DNA, but also our luminous bodies. And so it is very important to understand this interconnectedness about us and Earth and the cosmic alignment of all the planets around us and the trees and other humans. And if you live in a city, you're going to be a lot more affected by other fellow citizens than you're going to be if you live in the countryside, because in the countryside, you're happy and lucky enough to be far away from others. Most likely the density, the population density is a lot lower, and therefore your own luminous body is not being influenced by the luminous body of others living in the vicinity, as it is potentially in a city dwelling, like a big building with many houses, many apartments, because as you sleep, even in your own apartment, your neighbor across the wall from you is sleeping, and both your energy bodies may be even touching, and you may not even know very well this person, and you feel the influence and you don't understand what's happening. But it is because we truly are interconnected. This interconnectedness is a concept that is fundamental to understand how we can influence our lives and how we can influence our reality. As we feel, we influence. As we connect with love and with emotions and feelings of well-being, we have an impact on our surrounding, our environment, and those that we love. And the same is true when the opposite is happening, when we're down, when we don't have hope, when we don't see a way out. All of that imploding energy affects us very much, and it affects the environment around us. And the key is to understand that also the inanimate objects are picking up on the energy. Everything really is energy, even though we see it as a hard wall like this, it really is a slow moving energetic. It's still energy. And so our energy and that energy dance, and there is remnants of our energy on the walls. There's remnants on a crystal. If I'm holding a crystal in my hand, this crystal will hold this energy of mine in the crystal. And this is a key aspect for us to understand when we, particularly when we are not feeling very well. So I'm inviting you to do an assessment of your environment. Why are you not feeling very well? Maybe there are things happening in your life that are making you sad, and that is an absolutely valid reason. And yet you can still choose what you want to do with that emotion. Do you want to feed it, or you want to loop into loving it and understanding that everything is happening for you and not to you, and really look at what is it that you can do about what's happening in your life. Or, and you can also look at, where have I been? Have I been to the mall? Have I been to the grocery store? I remember that at the time of the pandemic, even though I am so aware of all the things I'm telling you, after a while that we were asked to stay at home, when we finally were told we could go out and do some grocery shopping, in a very naive act of my part, instead of really tuning into what it was I about to do, and using some shielding techniques, and being consciously aware of what I was doing, I went to the grocery store and I was hit by all the fear that other people in the store were feeling. I'm an empath, I'm a channel, I feel things very intensely. And it was super hard. And I knew exactly that what was happening for me wasn't my own emotions, but they were the emotions of others that I was tuning into and picking up. So, of course, the minute I got home and I put away the groceries, I had to go into my room and do a clearing and a shielding and sending love, and did all the things I know how to do to recenter myself. And this happens all the time. So you can also ask yourself, where have I been? Have I been to the grocery store, to the mall? Or sometimes that happens when you go to a big show and you go to a concert, or anywhere where there's many people. You have the combination of all of these humans' emotions, and they may be affecting you. You may be a more powerful empath than you were giving yourself credit for, and this is impacting your life a lot. Until I discovered this interconnectedness and how it affected me for many years, I thought, and I was actually labeled as a crybaby, which was not fun, because I was very emotional all the time. And that was because I was picking up on all the emotions in an environment wherever I was. And I wasn't aware that what I was picking up was the sadness, the fear, all of what was going on. And therefore, because I wasn't aware, I wasn't differentiating between what was my own emotionality versus the emotions from the people that I was picking up the emotions from. And it was a lot. It was so much, so loud inside of me, that I cried as a way to release part of that energy. And I cried feeling, tuning into the sadness and those lower level emotions that I was tuning into. And it was such a relief years later when I learned to differentiate between my own emotions and the emotions that I was picking up from the field, from the interconnectedness, and from others. And in that moment, it was such a relief and a freeing experience. This understanding that whatever it is that I'm feeling is mine, or it's not mine, and also the knowledge of all the things I can do about it, both from protecting myself to clearing myself to differentiate it and let go the part that is not me. That is why I wanted to speak to you about the Schumann resonance and interconnectedness. This way, when you look at the Schumann resonance chart and you see that is powerfully marked by these white downloads of energy, you can more easily understand that a lot is happening, and that through the interconnectedness that we experience, you are being influenced by it. I hope this video was useful for you. Please follow me, subscribe to this channel, and follow me on social media so that you can get more information about this. And please leave a comment below and let me know what other topics you're interested about Lots of love and light. Blessings. And thank you for being here and being you and doing what you're meant to be doing.